Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining us as we take you around San Diego. I'm News 8's Jenny Day. Certainly hope you're enjoying the World Cup. Right now, I'll get you caught up on our top stories of the week so far, and we'll also look ahead at what's to come around San Diego. We begin with the budget. The San Diego City Council just approved that new city budget, ending months of debate over how to close a $118 million deficit. Mayor Todd Gloria's original plan faced pushback for slashing arts and culture funding, cutting it from nearly $12 million to just $2 million. Council members say the final budget restores millions for the arts while maintaining funding for police, parks, libraries, and stormwater projects. The meeting drew hours of public comment, with residents weighing in on everything from arts funding to flood prevention.
Arts funding is cut, jobs are lost, opportunities disappear, and communities suffer.
The data tracking, the mass surveillance and stalking. I'm pleading with you to cancel your contract with Flock, allocate those funds and resources to the youth instead.
So Mayor Todd Gloria says he will sign it and not use his line item veto powers, so it should take effect July 1st. And the city of San Diego is officially repealing paid parking in Balboa Park and reducing the cost of trash pickup for single-family homes. Officials say this will avert a potential loss of more than $150 million in future budget years. This compromise will reduce the cost of single-family trash fees from its current $44 a month to $38.75 starting next year for 95-gallon bins. Now, with the lower amount of trash fee revenue coming in, certain services like bulky item and weekly recycling pickup will be reduced.
Keep the costs down because the revenue is going to be down. Even with that, there's going to be about a $10 million revenue hit in both fiscal year 28 and 29, but that's a manageable hit, and it's certainly better than what would have happened if we'd have faced a $150 million hit if the trash fees had gone away altogether.
So paid parking in Balboa Park will end at the start of next year, and then reduced trash fees will begin on July 1st of 2027. Right now, a Lakeside man is among 3 people accused of conspiring to support ISIS. Surveillance video shows FBI and ATF agents serving a search warrant outside 24-year-old Barine Dezay's Lakeside home. Federal prosecutors say he and 2 others allegedly pledged loyalty to ISIS and collectively sent more than $2,000, which authorities say they believed would help fund attacks on U.S. troops overseas. Well, now to a sad update. That baby, born via emergency C-section after her 17-year-old mother was shot in the head and killed, that baby has also died. San Diego police say the newborn suffered a severe brain injury and was taken off life support. Police say the mother, Jariah Edwards, was 32 weeks pregnant when she was killed outside of a Bay Park vacation rental by her ex-boyfriend on May 30th. Police say he took an Uber from Phoenix, then lured her out using a DoorDash order. 21-year-old Trayvon Williams was charged with first-degree murder. Meantime, a judge has ordered a mental competency evaluation for the man charged in the beating death of a 69-year-old man in Escondido. 32-year-old Thomas Butler again failed to appear in court for an arraignment, so his public defender requested the evaluation, and the prosecutor also cast doubt on Butler's ability to understand the proceedings against him. Those results are expected next month. Well, now to an election update. Republican Steve Hilton has beat out Democrats' Tom Steyer for the 2nd slot on November's ballot for governor. Hilton will face Democrat Javier Becerra, who clinched that top spot. With 91% of the vote reporting, Becerra holds a $260,000 vote lead over Hilton. We'll see what happens. Well, right now, a San Diego canine officer is suing the police department after his dog was taken away while he was on medical leave. Officer Jonathan Weiss stepped away from his job last year to seek help for post-traumatic stress disorder. An important part of Weiss's recovery, he says, was his canine Uno. He lived in their home and was part of their family, but 1 month into his leave, Officer Weiss says the department took Uno away from him. He believes he was singled out in a move he claims set back his recovery.
It was kind of like my leash back to work, knowing that, hey, Uno, you and I are going to get back to work.
It is not a steak dinner. It's not we're good. It's we're making systemic changes. We're going to compensate Jonathan for what he went through, and we're never going to let this happen again.
So now he is taking the police department to court after an investigation by the city found there was a violation of the city's EEO policy. In a statement to News 8, the San Diego Police Department says that they take all allegations of this nature seriously, adding that our officers do difficult work protecting our communities, and with that comes physical and mental health impacts. Due to the pending litigation, though, and it being a confidential personnel matter, we are limited in what we can say further, end quote. 3 rail cars are back on the tracks after toppling off along Harbor Drive right there near Petco Park. The railroad company BNSF says train traffic has resumed on an alternate track while engineers work with the city to repair a bridge support damaged in the crash. No one was hurt, thankfully, and the cause of that derailment is still under investigation. And hey, this is big. The state is getting involved. California Governor Gavin Newsom is investing $46 million to address the water crisis there near the border. This money comes from the $10 billion bond created by Prop 4 that passed in 2024. It'll go toward various projects such as removing trash and bacteria that contaminate San Diego's rivers by the Tijuana River. The governor is still asking the federal government with help funding repairs for the South Bay International Wastewater Treatment Plant, which treats Tijuana River water before it goes then into the Pacific Ocean. Hope it helps. Coming up, we hear from a San Diego man who survived a grizzly bear attack, plus CAL FIRE's newest firefighting aircraft put to the test, how the new Firehawk helicopter and C-130 air tanker helped battle the recent Sereno fire as flames threaten homes. Welcome back. Just weeks ago, CAL FIRE showed us its newest firefighting aircraft while training crews on how to use them. And this week, with a fast-moving vegetation fire threatening homes and forcing evacuations, those new tools were put to the test. News 8's Brian White shows us how CAL FIRE's newest aircraft helped battle the Sorrento fire from above.
Yeah, fire crews out here continue to work on hotspots and containment lines, but on Monday, this hillside was the scene of an aggressive aerial attack that gave us one of our first close-up looks at CAL FIRE's newest aircraft in action. As flames burned through vegetation near Sorrento Valley Boulevard, threatening homes and prompting evacuations, San Diego Fire Rescue called in help from the air. Among the aircraft responding were CAL FIRE's newest additions to its firefighting fleet, the S-70 Firehawk helicopter and the C-130 Hercules air tanker. We first showed you the Firehawk just weeks ago during training exercises in Warner Springs. On Monday, our cameras captured the helicopter making repeated water drops on an active wildfire for one of the first times since entering service at a base in Ramona.
It's almost like a reward, right? We waited so many months trying to get this helicopter down here to Ramona, and we finally have it here.
The helicopter can also split its load into multiple drops, allowing crews to target different parts of a fire without having to return as many times to refill. Also making a big impact over the Sorrento fire was CAL FIRE's new C-130 air tanker. The massive aircraft laid down long lines of bright pink retardant designed to slow the fire's advance and help crews build containment.
It has a 4,000-gallon capacity of fire retardant. So it's able to drop a big volume of fire retardant, create that little containment line along the fire to help put out the flames out ahead of it.
That's more than 3 times the retardant capacity of CAL FIRE's traditional S2 air tankers. The Sorrento fire burned 90 acres before firefighters stopped its forward progress. Evacuation orders have since been lifted, but crews remain on scene as the investigation into the cause continues. Monday's fire provided one of the clearest looks yet at how both aircraft are expected to strengthen wildfire response in San Diego County. In Sorrento Valley, I'm Brian White, News 8.
Yeah, Oceanside as well this week, so sincerely thank you for all that you do. All right, we turn now to this. A San Diego man who survived a grizzly bear attack. It happened when San Carlos resident Daniel Crago was hiking in Glacier National Park in Montana last month. He says he first saw a cub, and then behind him was an adult grizzly. He says the bear mauled him and dragged him down a trail.
Just kind of thought, this is it. Bit down on my arm, thankfully dragged me maybe 20 feet. I kind of flipped, landed on my backside, opened my eyes, and the bear had continued running down the mountain.
Wow. Crago says nearby hikers, one even a doctor, helped to stop the bleeding and stabilized his arm before he was airlifted to a hospital. He is back in San Diego and expected to have another surgery this week. Crago says this is not going to stop him, though, from doing what he loves most, being outdoors. Glad you're okay. Right now, police at San Diego Unified are asking for your help identifying the person who caused $70,000 in damage there at Patrick Henry High School. It happened last month during finals week. Police say someone snuck onto campus around 1 in the morning and spent 2 hours gluing roughly 200 classroom keyholes shut.
I was walking in, right? And I looked, and there was like all these teachers on the floor. They had these little, I don't know what they were doing, but they were like picking at the locks.
It's a huge disruption.
Oy vey, yeah. Well, school officials say it does look like a senior prank gone too far. Detectives aren't still certain, though, the suspect is a student. Crime Stoppers is offering up to $1,000 reward for any information that helps lead to an arrest. Still ahead, if you plan on swimming or paddling in Mission Bay this summer, a new report sadly might make you think twice. Keep it here. Welcome back. I wish it weren't so, but if you plan on swimming, paddling, or playing in Mission Bay this summer, a new report might make you think again. The San Diego Coastkeeper tested water quality across the bay and found persistently high bacteria levels in one of San Diego's most popular recreational waterways. News 8's Steffi Roche has more on the concerns.
The San Diego Coastkeeper's 2025 Mission Bay Water Quality Monitoring Report, released May 27th, details 2 years of monthly water testing at 10 locations throughout Mission Bay. The findings point to both storm-related pollution and year-round contamination sources affecting the bay, especially at Rose Creek and Tecolote Creek. The report found both creeks exceed state recreation safety standards at least half of the time.
Well, let's say you go swimming or paddleboarding in Mission Bay. If you're exposed, you splash water on yourself, that water has high levels of bacteria, and you ingest a little bit or you get some in a cut, then that can cause an infection. That can cause a gastrointestinal illness.
That's Philip Musigis, the executive director of San Diego Coastkeeper. According to the report, bacteria levels surged across all monitoring sites following rainstorms. And Musigis tells me this is common and expected in any body of water. However, in this case, the Coastkeeper found that both Rose and Tecolote Creeks consistently had elevated bacteria counts even during dry weather conditions.
We should see clean water during dry weather.
As for the source of the high bacteria levels, it's still not clear.
When we see high levels of bacteria in a stream like Tecolote Creek, most of it will come from human sources. Some comes from wildlife, a small amount. But it's typically, if you're seeing enough bacteria to cause a violation of a safe health standard, which we're seeing, then there's either a leaking sewer pipe, some sort of direct discharge of untreated sewage that's unregulated. There's something going on that needs to be addressed.
Musigis tells me the extent of the pollution does not rise to the level of the Tijuana River sewage crisis, but people living near the bay may notice something familiar.
There are times here at Tecolote Creek and in Rose Creek, certainly where you can smell that odor of sewer gases, that kind of sulfur odor. If you're smelling that, that means there's enough bacteria in that water that it's off-gassing and getting into the air.
I'm Steffi Roche, News 8.
Steffi, thanks. Meanwhile, hundreds of thousands of tons of microplastics from textiles, enter our oceans, every single year. So much of that comes from clothes that end up in landfills, but students from Cal State Long Beach teamed up with the Salvation Army to turn that waste into art. Millions of tons of textile waste end up in our landfills every year and eventually our oceans. That's why donating old clothes instead of trashing them makes such a difference for the ocean and for people. Organizers say more than 2,500 pounds of unsellable clothing were repurposed into that mural. They did great. Hey, well, the Sheriff's Department is dismissing some parking tickets on a road in Lakeside over confusing signs. There was some confusion about where it was okay to park on Julian Avenue near Channel Road. A resident reached out to us saying he got several tickets but insisted he had parked legally. So we checked the California Manual on Uniform Traffic Control Devices and learned he was right.
About the rest of the people, there has to be at least 50, 75, possibly 100 tickets that's been issued here.
Yeah, the sheriff's office says other people who appealed also had citations dismissed. Deputies have been briefed on that stretch of road and should not give tickets to those who park there going forward. The San Diego County Fair, it's back, and we are working for you and your wallet to help you save money this year. The Fair Tripper gets you a round trip on MTS or North County Transit, plus a fair ticket for nearly the same price as admission. Albertsons and Vons also sell discount tickets. Kids under 12 get in free on Fridays, and there will be Foodie Fridays as well, with some vendors offering half-off items. Now that school is out for many for the summer, local organizations are stepping in to make sure that kids still get healthy meals. Many San Diego Unified schools, as well as city rec centers and libraries, are offering free breakfast and lunch to kids 18 and under. No ID or enrollment of any kind is required. It's happening now through July 31st. Coming up, a North County business is reimagining how homes and businesses light their spaces. We visit Solitude next in an Earth 8 report. Welcome back. A North County business is trying to reimagine how homes and businesses light their spaces, and they are using more daylight and less electricity to do so. News 8's Evan Irani made a visit to Solitude in Vista to learn more in this Earth 8 report.
When you see a room lit entirely by natural daylight, it's hard to unsee it, mostly because you're left scratching your head as to why we all opted for artificial light in the first place.
So if we turn the lights off and we put the natural lights back on, you will see the difference. So it's easier to see, it's nicer to enjoy, but then throughout the day, we get the changes of pattern, which is what keeps your circadian rhythm regulated.
One of the main reasons homes and businesses are now jumping on board is because the latest technology finally makes it a worthwhile option in harnessing the natural light without losing control of it. Solitude is one Vista-based company trying to help people do just that.
It gives you the opportunity to control the light, it gives you the best color render index, and it gives you the flexibility to bring natural light wherever you want, whether it's a top floor, a second floor, or even further into the interior of a building or a home.
But these aren't your basic skylights. These tubes are able to bend and curve, bringing natural light from long distances without warming the room up and while blocking out UV rays.
One of the biggest things about our product is it has great thermal control, more so than windows, more so than traditional skylights. What that means is in a hot summer, it won't let the heat in. And this is particularly important in Southern California, in Arizona, in Nevada, some of these places that gets really hot. Our product doesn't bring in the heat. That means you don't have to turn on your AC and still enjoy natural light.
The lights look and feel so natural that when Scripps Institution of Oceanography was looking to replicate outdoor ocean conditions in their indoor laboratory, they turned to Solitude for help. Organizations and homeowners alike are now not only seeing the health benefits of natural light, but the benefits to their wallets as well, cutting typical lighting costs on their power bill.
Not too long ago, we were all sitting inside of our homes because of COVID, and we all knew what it was like to not be outside and how difficult that was. Well, when I learned about this product, I got to understand that we can actually have the same benefits of being outside indoors, and that is just something that is game-changing for everybody.
And now Solitude is expanding their commitment to helping the environment. Warehouse manager Rory Murphy was brought on last year and has helped their warehouse and factory cut down on single-use plastics and even wood pallets.
My degree is in conservation from in forestry. So, you know, recycling and the wood is a big part of, you know, what I'm about. One of the reasons I came to this company was all the recycling initiatives that we have.
Our mission is to be able to explain that to most people. Not just why daylight is important, not just that there's a better way to bring it indoors, but also that there's ramifications both for human health, but also for the environment.
Evan Irani, News 8.
Always good stuff there, Evan. Thank you. How about this? NASA has unveiled the crew for its Artemis 3 mission, and one of the astronauts has San Diego roots. NASA astronaut and former Miramar fighter pilot Randy Bresnik was named mission commander. Congrats. In about a year, the 4-person crew will spend 2 weeks, 300 miles above Earth, practicing rendezvous maneuvers with the Blue Origin and SpaceX lunar landers. The mission will serve as practice for the 2028 moon landing mission. Ooh, these guys are so brave, so safe travels. All right, that will do it for us. Thank you for your time, as always, for staying informed, all the things. For News 8, I'm Jenny Dake. Take such good care.